Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
What does the nanny do?
Okay, so we're done.
Goodbye.
You. Shut it off.
Do not twist my words. Do not make me a victim, sweetie.
Just look at the mountain. That's what you saw that day.
Just the knife in the kidneys over all these years and the sacrifices that I made to love you.
Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
Where we left off on the last episode was the Browns and the anti-polygamists strolling into the teeny tiny miniature assembly hall auditorium for this panel discussion about polygamy. The highs, the lows, the dangers, the thrills, the excitements, the love, the triumphs. The editing on this was a little jarring because all of a sudden it's like Meri's just talking. Now, what we realize is that we're going to get a little bit of an introduction from each wife. So they're going to go through them and give them each a little soundbite. Do they make sense? Is it helpful? Up to you to decide. But that's where we are going, even though we didn't know it while watching the episode.
No, they give weird sound bites during the entire panel.
Yeah.
We get bits and halves and pieces, and they frankenbite this together. It's very apparent when you're watching it that they're cutting things out and piecing it back together, and it was a little odd. Just want to let everybody know that ahead of time.
Not only is it choppy, but we're getting only fragments of answers, generally not questions, so not even teed up, just kind of volleying these sound bites back and forth.
And one of our favorite quotes is misappropriated, misused. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But like a barnacle on a whale's back, it's grown on all of us, and we all love it to this day.
Yes, we get our first soundbite from the intro of this show.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't lead with that on part one. What is wrong with me?
I've never watched this. I've never seen this before.
So you didn't even know.
I didn't know, and...
And I let down our dear listeners.
I was let down by the lead up to this. I thought this was going to be much more aggressive than it was. Turns out Robyn's a fucking faker, as per usual. God damn.
Nothing new there.
Nothing new there at all. First, we're going to hear from Meri. We're going to hear a little bit about her backstory. And Meri says, "When I was just a young baby, my mom was introduced to plural marriage and decided it was the life for her. I did not know that Meri was already born when brought into plural marriage. That was interesting to me.
I don't recall through Becoming Sister Wives, their book, or through other ventures that they've done or stories they've shared, if we really learn about her mom and dad's entry into polygamy. But she was quite young when that happened. Her parents were married. There wasn't really, as far as I know, a salacious story about it. They were, whatever they were doing and then became polygamists. There usually is a salacious story involved, but not sure of the details on that.
Something happened. Then we hear from Janelle.
Janelle talks about growing up in the mainstream Mormon LDS church. And then, Janelle, I feel like in the last episode, I just gave her a mustard seed, and I'm going to crush that mustard seed and spread it on a wiener because she disappoints with her lack of truth. It hurts me deep inside. She says she met a guy, Meri's brother. She doesn't say Meri's brother, but she met a guy. And then through meeting that guy, she was introduced to Meri's family, and they became her token polygamist friends. And I'm going, excuse me, what the fuck? No, you married Meri's brother. You were part of her family, and then you left him to marry her husband. That's quite a bit different than the story she gave at this panel. So there's our big first lie at the panel, right there.
Very, very odd way of saying that, darling.
I just don't know why she can't. She's not being honest about it because they don't want it to color their story. But
it's liars. They're liars.
Blatant lies, and it's gross.
They lie.
And then we get our little introduction from Christine Brown.
Little princess of plagues.
Mm-hmm.
Little
Yes,
princess of
polygamous
plagues.
royalty, that one.
Christine says, I was raised in a polygamous family. I had 2 moms. What I didn't know was that I was raised in fear because we were told from a young age that if people find out our dad is going to get put in prison. Oh, Lord.
My God.
My
If they
God.
found out that he was a polygamist, he would be thrown in prison. So apparently she didn't know that she was being raised in fear. I guess most people probably don't know they're being raised in fear until they figure it out. It's interesting how her reflection seems a bit siloed at this point. Oh, so you now know that you were raised in fear, but you're not going to connect those dots to even... okay.
To your own kids.
Right.
Having to do that to your own kids for years.
For years and years. I know. I'm trying not to tear her down too much here.
Being raised in fear, fucking awful.
Yeah, not good.
It changes you. Obviously, it's scary. How would you know you're being raised in fear until you're her age now and decided to come out as a family? It's more disturbing, yet again, than they let on.
And Christine with her rose-colored glasses, it's a theme for her life. As we know, she references it in her book a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She was just sunny disposition, optimistic Christine. Little bit in denial about the truth, which works for this family. Now we get a clip from Robyn for her introduction. And once again, you guys, friendly reminder that none of this is connected or really makes
They
sense from
obviously cut the shit out of her quote.
storytelling. She says, I fell in love with their family, and I'm very happy with my family. We're not perfect, but what family is? Okay, interesting. That's your story? Once again, production cut the shit out of it, so who knows what her actual spiel was, but they just leave her with that.
It was probably worse than that.
I was going to say that was probably the best that she said, so they're like, that's what we'll keep.
I mean, as we know, her mommy was maybe
A mistress.
poly under duress
Oh, there-
situation until they got married.
There we go. There we go.
Plague mommy, cheaty mommy situation.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Thank you, legal.
So, yeah.
But now we can't hear from the 4 wives without hearing from Kody as well, darling. And what does Kody share with the audience?
Kody says, my experience with plural marriage has not been an easy one. It has been a challenge for us, but it has been a blessing. And I'm lucky to have been able to marry the women I love.
Wow, how poetic.
Puke. I noticed here that Meri is sitting right next to Colleen. And Aspen and Logan are
Yeah.
sitting in the front row.
Yes, so we thought and we knew that Aspen was going to join, but Logan is a surprised guest. We don't hear from him in the episode.
No.
But they're there to support their parents.
We don't see him other than the back and side of his profile. Obviously, it's Logan, and Logan is sitting with Aspen. They're there to support their parents. Good for them.
And I just want to make note about how they were giving him shit about not being there for the family and being Mr. Independent, and he's too good for them.
You're right.
And here he is. Now, he does go to UNLV, but he's there supporting his family. Like, fuck you people. And I think it was Aspen that you gave the shit stain to that week, and
I
now she's
did.
sitting next to him in the auditorium.
I did.
Aspen, I hope you learned a lesson, girl.
I hope you did, darling. He was right there next to you in that front row supporting your moms.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, with Meri being right next to Colleen, they are right in the middle of the stage, right? So it's
Yep.
Meri on one side, Colleen, and then all the wives on the other side, and all of the other anti-plagues on the other side of Colleen.
I wonder if they put Colleen in the middle there because she's the person that has seen them last or actually knew the family, or if they even went that far as to think
Yeah.
about that.
From a producer's lens, I would think that she might be the one that gets the most combative. So that's why I would put her there. But interestingly enough, as we're getting these shots through the scene, Meri seems very pleasant overall and almost has body language of being totally cool. And she referenced she was not nervous about this experience. She thought it was going to be fine. And there's something about the way that she glances over and looks at Colleen where it's pretty nice and pretty open and welcoming. So seeing Colleen be how she can be next to Meri, and then Mary's like, I'm just here, I'm cool, I'm Mare. And I'm like, okay, here we go, girls.
We got Robyn on the end of the whole
Oh, yeah.
family getting saucy.
Oh yeah, she's at the
getting
far end.
saucy.
Opening that big jaw.
Yep. It's a big dill. She's got the dill pickle jar, and she's on the end. She's getting saucy. We're going to hear from Willie next about his experience. Willie says, "My experience of polygamy was hell. When one mother was mad at another, instead of taking it out on the mother, she took it out on the children." And then he says about his dad, "My father was never around, and when he wasn't a very decent person." And he's like doe-eyed, and he's not even giving us much about his family. He's not saying when my father was around, he would hit us with the belt or he would do this or that. He's saying he wasn't a decent person.
He's implying things that we're supposed to, I guess, make up or
We're
whatever.
supposed to infer.
And it does align with his whole, cult upbringing, coming into the world, the whole thing that we discussed before. Clearly not comfortable with public speaking. You don't have to be from a cult to not be comfortable with public speaking, but he's pretty reserved during this entire thing.
The bits he gives us are sad, and there's obviously a problem there. You can just tell based on his face and his eyes, though, that there's more to the story. Way more to the story.
But to be fair for Willie, we also don't get a lot of juicy details from anybody in this panel, and it might be because of the editing. We really just get some salacious and some building confrontation and combativeness, but I'm not so sure that we get a lot of details that we want to get here. We'll see. We'll see where the journey takes us.
Maybe a few more yucky things.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So as what happened with the Browns is going to happen with the anti-plague folk. And we're moving on from Willie to Christine Marie. And a reminder from our part 1, she is the brains and beauty behind the Netflix documentary, Trust Me, The False Prophet, which came out on Netflix earlier this year, that we highly recommend. And Christine Marie, she does share more about her story than Willie did, doesn't she? I love how I'm like, oh, not much gets shared. And then it's like Christine Marie's going to let it all out.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "I thought I was the first wife. Then he had a revelation that another woman was going to be the first wife. And I was going to have to financially support her and him. So I basically became a slave to this sister wife." We break from her to see Colleen again. Colleen has black makeup running down her face, but she also looks perfect still. She looks like a Lindsay Lohan music video from that era.
Her not waterproof mascara is literally running in in a single line from each eye.
Like a triangle.
Like a
dripping triangle.
Down to the skinny line. And it looked to me like stage makeup.
It looked like it was placed there.
Yes, it looked like
it was actually gorgeous.
Yes.
I'm like, gorgeous, darling, gorgeous.
Yeah, it literally looked like a scene out of a movie where someone was supposed to be crying. And we hadn't seen this before they cut to her because of the jarring editing. So she's sitting there looking a little like, I'm Colleen, you know what you're getting yourself into. And then all of a sudden she has this teardrop mascara going down her face. And it's like, okay, girl's been feeling some feels and sharing some stuff.
And it's like, Robyn, that's what it looks like when you cry, you dumb bitch.
Oh, snap. Snap. Colleen shares that sister wives are not friends. They hate each other. And if they're your babysitter, those kids are going to be beat and abused by those moms and her kids.
And her kids.
Yeah. Remember, we were just talking about Meri's embarrassing situation where she was saying, please don't fuck with these kids. And the mothers were defensive about that. You take that another few steps further and you've got a mother not only abusing a kid that's not her bio kid, but allowing her children to do it. It's not hard for me to imagine.
It's very easy for me to imagine how that would get out of control. Oh, as a mom, that breaks my fucking heart. It breaks my heart. I don't know if my husband and I both died in a horrific flaming car accident and we had to leave our children. I mean, obviously they'd be going to my sister and her husband. I just think that they would do the best and closest job of raising them, but do I know that they would be treated exactly the same as my nieces? No. And that fucking kills me inside. If I ever died and my husband got remarried to another woman, do I think she would ever treat my children how I would treat them? No, and I'd probably haunt the motherfucking shit out of her.
Well, she would deserve it.
I told my husband, I'm like, if I ever die and you get remarried, it's not that I don't want you to be happy, but I will haunt her. Because
especially when she's getting that good D, girl.
I'm just scared that my kids will not be treated the same as other people's kids if they're step or adopted or whatever. I just don't know how that works because I can't put myself in those shoes, and it's scary to me, and it's very sad to think of even another mom in general. I couldn't have the heart to beat another child, even if it wasn't mine. I couldn't even imagine that, but obviously these women are pitted against each other. So what else would they do? The children are pitted against each other. Everyone is pitted against each other for the dad's affection. So we can only surmise that this would happen.
Yeah, the resentment growing, the anger being misplaced. When you think about in life, you don't even have to be a polygamist to have your anger grow and your resentment be misplaced. And all of a sudden you're in this situation where it's probably all magnified.
You can be a stepmom and be removed from it and not want to be fucking the ex-husband and have this happen.
Yeah.
Now imagine wanting to fuck the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Of course it's going to happen. Christine's aunt, Kristen, shares her experience of taking on another sister wife. And she says, when my husband married his second wife, my heart was broken. And when they drove away on their honeymoon, I didn't know if I was going to make it. And when they came back and I heard things, I thought I was going to die. I was pretty much suicidal by then. So she's talking about hearing her husband fuck his second wife.
Right.
When she says, when I started to hear things, I heard things. I can't even imagine. And you're supposed to be okay with this and you're supposed to pretend it's all hunky-dory.
And while she was sharing this, I kept thinking in my mind about how the Browns were in a trailer when Janelle joined the family. And I guess maybe even when Christine did. I don't know. Details are a little hazy to me. But there's always this implication of hearing through the paper-thin walls. So these women sitting on this stage have probably all experienced what she's talking about. Mm-hmm. Now, do they identify with being suicidal? Couldn't say that. But they know what she's talking about, and they have their poker faces on. They are sitting there doing whatever. I do notice as this moves on, Christine does a lot of looking down, staring out, not really looking at the people that are speaking. And I think it's because she's processing that is actually my same experience, but I'm not here to acknowledge that. You know, I've got to come up with my rationales, my justifications, and what I'm going to say next. But I can't imagine having my spouse come home with another person and having sex with them, and I'm supposed to hear it and just keep sweet about it. Supposed to keep sweet.
And I can't even join in? I mean, come on. Come on.
Well, with your background, you'd be knocking at the door being like, don't hold out on me.
Hello. Here we go now.
But yeah, I mean.
Oh, Lord, my God.
Oh, Lord, my God. Troubling at best if that's not your vibe. If that's not your vibe, that's not good. And Christine does, jump in here to say something to her aunt.
Oh, we gloss over the suicidal bit.
Oh, of course. But we can't dive into that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Can't talk about the incest. Can't talk about the suicide. Moving on.
And so when Christine has this opportunity for rebuttal, she says, Aunt Kristen, I love you, but I just don't know what I'm going to do with you. I remember you so well, and I remember your husband, and he was not a nice man. And she's trying to draw the connection here of, okay, you're talking about these things that your nasty husband did. Well, I'm pointing out to you that makes sense to me.
I get it.
Because your husband was basically an asshole. Meanwhile, as I was saying, she has to identify with what her aunt is actually saying. So it's just more denial and more rejection and more crazy talk. And, of course, Kristen does respond to her saying, well, I'm so glad that you're happy, but your family's an anomaly. And all around me are people whose stories are heartbreaking. So it's It's weird, too, because of it being the niece-aunt situation. They haven't seen each other in so long. There's this situation going on with them. And Christine basically is saying, I hear you, but your husband was an asshole. So, I don't know. Invalidating her point.
Robyn has to put her beak out there.
Bagok!
Robyn says, but you've also heard so many great stories, too.
And I'm going, what the fuck? Out of nowhere and backed by who? Where is this backed by? How is it that Robyn can even say to this woman straight-faced, you've heard a lot of great stories. Like, why are you telling me my experience of the stories that I've heard? Like, insane. Robyn is so dumb. She is so dumb.
Hey, you're 1 against 5, bitch. You're one family against 5. You don't know my life.
You don't know my life, Robyn.
Kristen says, you know, Robyn, I've only talked to one person who's left who's told me they were happy. And Robyn interrupts and says, who you marry makes a huge difference. Of course it does.
Yeah, Robyn continues, I have a mother and sisters that are so happy with their sister wives' relationships. And she starts tearing up. The fake tears ain't coming. The fake tears ain't coming. But, you know, the voice does wobble as if she might cry. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, she's her mother, who was potentially a mistress who became a second wife, and her sisters, who I'm sure are very happy in their polygamist relationships, they all love what's going on in their lives. So, hello, Kristen, haven't you heard the stories about my family? Like, what the fuck, Robyn?
And then as we're moving on, of course, Kody has to get the last word in. He doesn't even have the fucking microphone, and he has to get the last word in, and nobody is paying attention until, oh my God, no, Kody speaks up. Kody says, our experience isn't your experience in a nutshell.
Moving.
Ugh.
Really solidified their points.
Then our Professor Creepo says, we're going to take some questions from the audience.
Oh, that Professor Creepo. He really is something. Of course, the first question is posed to Kody because he is the patriarch of this family. And the question is, how many kids do you have? And Kody says 17. And so the question continues, do you think you are emotionally active in all of your kids' lives as best that you can be? And Kody says, I think I'm as active in my children's lives as anybody I know, monogamist or polygamist. I'm once again wondering, what the fuck are his wives thinking? I am honed in on Christine, and she is staring down at the floor with that blouse that's all scrunched up under her chest, and she's got that dangling piece of jewelry, and she is staring down. She is not reacting at all because, as we know, by this time, there's no way she thinks that he's active in their children's lives. They are literally, remember, he does rock, paper, scissors, and they don't even know that that's his game. Like, he is not, he's not there, and we know
get the
this.
remote by rock, paper, scissors. Christine Marie says a quote somewhere during this question. We're not really sure where because they're cutting it so oddly. But Christine Marie says, they're special overall, regardless of the culture. It is filled with unhappiness, poverty, poor education of children.
Yeah.
I think she's just mentioning here that, well, if the father is around, fine. Obviously, Kody's around. But regardless of if Kody's around or not, the culture is filled with unhappiness, poverty, and poor education.
Kody rebuttals, it's unfair to say polygamy is evil because evil has happened to you. Monogamy also has evil. Other societies have evil. Religions have abuse. Non-religious families have abuse. It's like, okay, I mean, yeah, sure, I guess. And Kody points out how they're painting the Browns with a broad brush of their own experience. We get a lot of talk of this brush.
We get to hear about painting a lot.
A lot of painting, a lot of broad brushing, a lot of brushing on experiences and painting people.
Kristen says, well, no more than you are from everyone else.
And Kody says, well, I'm not recommending plural marriage to everybody. I'm simply asking the world for permission to allow me and those who choose to do it to choose. Okay.
This is where things get muddy because we're about to hear one of our favorite quotes from the Sister Wives world. It's messy. It's different.
It's different.
It's different. Colleen says, we haven't directed anything onto you. We haven't painted anything on you.
This is where I noticed the back and forths are really
Yes.
building in their combative nature. People are talking quick after each other. The voices are getting escalated. And Robyn says, yeah, you did, Colleen. You said sister wives.
And Colleen says, I said sister wives, not indicating you guys.
You said sister wives hate each other, says Robyn.
It wasn't directed at you guys.
Ugh, but you know what? And then Robyn starts laughing and gesturing at the audience. Condescendingly, she says, does the world know that?
Do they know that?
Oh my God. It's like
we're all idiots.
we were just told that these people were going to share their perspectives. The people in the audience know that they're sharing their perspectives. But Robyn is, she's a little low IQ. So someone could have easily reminded her, these people are talking about their experiences. Now, to be fair, they have said things like sister wives and polygamists and the culture. So there is a little element of broad brushing, but it's just not teed up like that as far as what we're experiencing as viewers. Kristen jumps in saying, I think I should be able to share my story just like you're sharing your story. And then we cut to another question from a woman in the audience. It's like this totally makes sense. You guys, if you're following along, God bless you. This is a mess. It is all over the place. Now, this woman's question, it is long and strangely worded. It's a little hard. I don't know, honey. Do you feel that you have the personal strength to get through this question?
Kody, the way you increase your tone of voice, the way the 4 women around you look at you for permission. For me, as a woman, I have a question. Meri's cackling in the background.
Oh, Meri, laughing, Meri, Carrie.
Woman continues. Do you have the financial wherewithal if you want to take money and if you have to escape and leave Kody? Essentially, she wants to know, if you wanted to leave financially, could you leave?
And of course, Janelle responds saying, I make my own money. I have my own bank account. And the audience starts clapping. It is kind of a, classic Janelle moment where it's like, yeah, okay, she's laughing at this thing, but
it's such bullshit, though, because Christine doesn't know how much money they're making. If you've read her book, she admits that she didn't know about the money, and she got her, stipend of the money, and
yeah,
it's gross.
It's interesting how if the wives have different experiences, so the 4 wives, it ties into the monogamous versus polygamous thing from our last episode, where a wife can be called upon if her experience doesn't align with the others to rationalize and justify a situation. So, yeah, Janelle has her own checking account and she knows how much money she has. So that just means that none of the other women have to address that they don't, or they don't know. Or in Robyn's case, they're a fraud and stealing everybody else's money,
Christine talks in her book about having to save money to the side so that she can leave and get a second place where she wants to live by her other family in another state.
Yeah.
So obviously she had to save money. She didn't feel comfortable saying to Kody or Robyn or Meri or Janelle, I need the money to leave.
Yeah.
Give me that money so I can get the fuck out of here.
It's referenced so many times in this show how Kody tees up that if you're unhappy, you know what? I'll buy you a house down the road. I'll take care of you and your children. You don't have to live with me. And it's such bullshit. It's just this thing where it's like, why would that ever even come up? First of all, that's very bizarre, but it's this overcompensation of just doing things right in your own home. It's gross. It's
also,
so
it's
gross.
bitch, you're already not living with me. So I don't know what else you want here. I want to be happy. I want another life. I would rather be with another man. That is the part that he does not get.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Well, and Meri jumps on the train here. I married this man because I love him. I look to him because I'm anxious what he's going to say. And I'm also anxious to get the mic because I want to say what I want to say. So, yeah, okay, you can say that I'm looking to him for whatever. Well, I'm looking to him because I want to hear what he has to say. And I love him, and that's why I married him. And they do a cutaway to the woman in the audience, and she looks pissed. Because I think she thought she was going to get him, I'm going to ask this question. And then it was like, girl, you kind of failed. And you actually kind of teed them up to answer the question well. I mean, not well, but to answer it to a satisfactory level to someone. And she is not happy about it. And then Christine jumps in saying, I understand your concern based on stereotypes. And Kody has said, if money's holding you back, I'll give you money to leave. You have your freedom, which is, a summary of this whole thing that she's talked about before, where he's like, oh, I'll pay for you to leave. I'll buy you a house. I'll take care of the kids. Like, well, aren't we already doing that, except for kind of not?
Yeah, Christine says, Kody would say, look, if you're not happy, I'll give you the money and you can leave. Christine Marie says, but you don't have the freedom to sleep with Kody every night because you have to share him, right?
Ooh. They cut away to a couch moment, and Kody talks about getting frustrated with where this conversation is going. And, of course, they cut back, and Meri says, do you know how liberating it is to not sleep with your husband every night? And there's audience laughter and applause, and it's like she's doing a bit of, like, comedic relief shit, and it's like, girl, okay, we're holding on here. We're holding on.
On the couch, they say that they think things got heated and passionate because they stopped addressing the public, aka the audience, and started addressing each other.
Yeah.
So they started going back and forth with the plagues versus the anti-plagues, and like literally looking and arguing with each other versus answering questions and looking at the audience.
Yes, because even when they were doing their back and forths before, they were clearly addressing the audience, trying to be persuasive. Now we've entered this phase where they are just back and forth, kind of yelling at each other. And Kristen responds to Meri by saying, Meri, I don't have to sleep with my husband every night, and he's not sleeping with other women. Like, ooh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
They go back to the couch, and Meri is just like, you know what? That's her perspective. I know my truth. I'm a little shooketh that Meri is just whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I literally don't even remember anything she said because while she was talking, I was like, what? Girl, what? Like, what's going on here?
Huh.
She doesn't
That's
care
her
at all.
perspective.
And I think Robyn was just sitting next to her nodding like an idiot. Like, oh, yeah. It's just so stupid.
Think they've smoked the devil's lettuce before that couch moment.
Maybe they found Maddie's stash. And then we get another disappointing moment from Janelle, in my opinion. She's talking to the audience saying something along the lines of, my beliefs say that I can choose my husband, whether he's married or not. And that's okay. Everyone gets the right to choose their religion. Okay. You guys keep defaulting to these things that align to almost like civil rights. That's a bit of a stretch, but just this, it's choices, like I get the choice. I'm not hurting anyone by doing this, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but even what you're saying, like you get to choose your husband whether he's married or not.
But they're not even tying it to religion. They're not even talking about their religious beliefs here. They're talking about, oh, well, we can just marry whoever we want. They're not saying why. They're not saying why in their religion it's important, why it matters.
Right.
So they're skirting around the fact that their religion believes you get closer to God and further into heaven. And it's going to come up a little bit later with one of the anti-plagues as to why this is ridiculous. But Christine Marie here says, and this is a little far stretch, but I want you to open your minds here.
Oh, God.
I kind of see it.
Okay. I'm currently opening my mind because this one is a doozy.
I don't know if it is.
Oh, okay.
Christine Marie says and compares their plural marriage to driving drunk. She says, yes, you can. And you are the exception, but most everyone's not like you. So usually it's filled with problems, poverty, and issues, and you're just unique. AKA, if you were driving drunk and you just got lucky and made it home, fine, you're the exception. But usually when you drive drunk, you're going to get in an accident. You might hurt somebody else. You might hurt yourself. You might take a lot of people down along the way. And it's not even worth doing it.
Right.
Not worth the risk.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
And
I agree.
That connection, I see the dots connecting. It just felt extreme when she was saying it in the way that she was saying it to me. But I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. I don't know.
It is more likely that abuse is going to happen in a large family than not.
Okay.
You're upping the chances of your children getting abused. You're upping the chances of yourself getting abused. That is just the reality. The more people you add to a situation, the more people that you don't know very much, the more people that might get angry, the odds go up.
Sure.
And
okay.
I'm not willing to take those chances, personally. I agree with this.
Is that why you told your husband no to the sister wives?
That's 1,000% why I said no to the
You're
sister wives.
The rate of me being abused, the likelihood of me being abused is going up and up with every wife you want to add.
No, you know what? The chances of a child getting essayed or abused by a parent that is a step parent, they go up by 10 times to 40 times compared to children living with their biological parents. Like, it's insane.
Okay.
It's insane. So let's say you're introducing essentially, in their situation, 3 other external parents. The chances of your children getting abused go up by that 3 times.
Right.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine it. And we wonder why the FLDS church had the issues that it fucking had.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting. Not to mention the fact that you just, as a dad, can't give your children as much attention as they need. Kody's answer was bullshit.
Yes.
You have 17 fucking kids and you mean to tell me that you can give them all the emotional attention that they need? My dad had 2 kids and couldn't fucking do it. All right? All right?
Well, yeah. I agree
You might think
about
I'm
the
getting
Kody.
messy or dramatic,
No,
but I'm being fucking honest here.
I understand. Yeah, and there's even an element, too, that I would add on to this about recent events with one of the Brown children that I don't want to get into details about because it's not confirmed and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But coming to your parents and confiding in them, sharing that you have been essayed or that there has been abuse, and it turns out that you are the one that's going to get in trouble for bringing that to their attention. You are the problem, and that seems far more likely to happen in a situation in a polygamous family. Now, that's me judging. I don't have any stats on that, but that does happen for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Historically cited in some literature as being multiplied by 10 to 40 times an increase of relative risk compared to children living with both biological parents.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this like, I understand that single moms, they're doing their best. Single parents in general are doing their best. You have to be so fucking careful when you introduce somebody else into your child's life. Now imagine just inherently doing that. And we've got Meri in the last episode saying, but I'm not raising my children with you anymore. Bitch, you're supposed to be their mom.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at them as not your children, they're at 10 to 40 the times risk of getting abused by you in my fucking eyes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I just, like, as a mom, that is so terrifying to me. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Not worth it.
Yeah. After Christine Marie has this drunk driving scenario as a connection to what's going on with the family, Meri points out that was a broad brush statement. So once again, you are trying to paint us with a broad brush. I'm going to give it a little bit of credence in my mind because they are saying that that's what they're doing, and it did have a little bit of that feel, but I don't know.
She can't just say, I understand the analogy, but that's just not it.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's no real connection to them individually. It's just this default defense that the Browns are taking, that you're painting us with a broad brush.
Yep.
And now we get to hear from Professor Creepo again. Ooh, he gets a direct-to-camera moment where now, honey, we're going to hear School is in session. We're going to learn a little lesson from Professor Creepo.
We're going to get some weird stats that have no merit whatsoever as far as we know.
He didn't cite his source in this interview.
No, he did not. He says 30% of polygamous families have a satisfactory marriage. 35% have issues, serious issues. Another 35% are completely dysfunctional.
I love these categories.
Right?
Satisfactory, serious issues, and completely dysfunctional. I mean, I guess, I don't know how we went from satisfactory to serious issues, but okay.
And he doesn't say how it's classified,
Right.
the criteria or
Absolutely.
anything.
It is kind of bullshit, but okay. Let's pretend that he's speaking the truth here. Let's go with it.
How does this square with monogamy? He wants us to know. I would suspect we find the percentage is more or less the same.
How astute. How academic. I want to sign up for his classes immediately. Once again, is he being paid by a public school to be doing this? I do think it's a publicly funded... I'm not even going to go into it.
I feel like I need to use the word perfunctory here for some reason. So perfunctory. And he was allowed to go on a TV show and signed off on by the school to spout some random percentages out at us.
It definitely aligns with my experience. All monogamous couples that I know probably fall into a 30% satisfactory, 35% serious issues, and 35% completely dysfunctional category.
My senior thesis at the University of Minnesota had better conclusions than this motherfucker who's a professor at UNLV.
Well, it speaks to the quality education available in Minnesota. And now Christine Marie is going to take us on a left-hand turn. She did put on her turn signal, but it's only a slight left in this panel. Christine Marie asks, what would happen if one day you woke up and realized that all of this was for superstition? Which I love. And Robyn says, well, then I would leave. And Christine Marie says, amen, sister. Like, oh, God.
Clapping in the background.
Oh, God. Here we go. We're easing into one of the best moments of the episode. We're getting lubed up, ready to go in. And Kristen asks Meri if it was accurate that she and Robyn had both said that they live this lifestyle because it's their belief. So basically, you would leave if you didn't believe in the faith? So is she trying to catch them here with some word salad? Or do you think, I mean, the root of this is saying you marry this man that you did because of your religious faith. So are you saying that if your religious faith's changed, you would leave your husband?
Yeah.
That's like what she's saying, right?
Yeah. And the superstition bit is almost a little, okay, you knock on wood, you get further into heaven.
Yeah.
You are with a husband with more wives. You get a step further into heaven. You're closer to heaven. You're closer to God. You are in the land of the chosen ones.
Yeah.
Further and further based on the wives.
Yes.
So what I'm gathering here is they're getting to, if you didn't believe that anymore, if you just didn't think that it would get you further into heaven, would you leave this lifestyle? And Robyn, I think she's been pretending this whole time, and I think she's been building up in her head what she's going to say, because she started responding to Colleen with this do not earlier in the questioning.
Okay.
And didn't get to say it because she was interrupted.
Okay.
So then we get our famous words from Robyn.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even make sense here. They don't even make sense here. So, Kristen ends with, so basically what you're just saying is that you would leave if you guys didn't believe it. And Robyn says, do not twist my words. If I woke up unhappy, I would leave. Do not make me a victim, sweetie.
Yes. And the pull from this quote is an infamous line from the beginning of our show. This is the very first soundbite that we're getting from the show that is referenced in our intro of this very fabulous podcast. Don't twist my words. Do not make me a victim, sweetie. And it was satisfying to hear because I hear it all the time. I hear it so many times.
I feel like I need to compulsory just say it one more time myself.
Please do.
Do not twist my words. Do not make me a victim, sweetie.
So satisfying. It's unfortunate that it's Robyn, and it's unfortunate that it's in this situation. It is fortunate that she did try to say it earlier and was cut off. At least we got that satisfaction.
It would have made sense earlier. It doesn't fucking make sense here. She sat on this.
Yes.
She was holding the sides of her chair, just gripping them with white knuckles, waiting to fucking say this.
Yes. And the nonverbals is her literally leaning over, mic in hand, ready to do it. Like she has been crouching, waiting for these moments to say something like this.
Like a viper, like an owl in a tree waiting to strike.
Because ordinarily, she looks like she's sitting there missing what's going on, completely unaware of her surroundings or what anybody's doing, and then piping in eventually to, say her 2 cents because she has to talk. But
because she's not listening, she's waiting to speak.
Yes, for the one line that she knows she can actually say.
Yeah.
So our Netflix documentary goddess, Christine Marie, asks Kody if his motivation was his faith. And he agrees. Okay, cool, whatever. I don't know why we're stuck on that. Like, why would that even... Like, of course it is. Well, she's trying to maybe ask if it's about, his carnal nature, his tool of God, which he's saying, yes, it's about my tool of God. We know what that tool is, but he just gets to say, it's my faith, whatever, this is my faith.
Fucking liar.
The last bit of this episode, we have some back and forth between couch moments with the Browns and then back to some of the post-panel footage after they've wrapped up. So do they give us a nice clean bow of the actual panel ending? Of course not, because this was edited like crap and all of a sudden the panel's just done. But we have this couch moment with the Browns, and Meri shares she was disappointed in how the debate turned out, that it was so combative.
And Christine says, the debate in general, I think it was awful. And then they show Kristen hugging Logan and Janelle talking to Colleen, asking her about getting her driver's license. And then Kristen and Christine are having a conversation, and Kristen says, do you all want to go out for dinner?
So once again, a reminder for those of you who are going, who the fuck are they talking about in this episode? Kristen is Christine's aunt, who is now chatting with her after this panel. And, we had Christine being so nervous. The whole thing was about avoiding her. She's so scared. She doesn't know what she's going to do. Now they've had this combative discussion. The panel is wrapped, and Kristen is asking her niece, who she hasn't had a relationship with in a very long time, asking her, do you want to go to dinner? And Christine, of course, says no.
And I'm thinking to myself, why not? Like, this is over. If you truly respect each other's opinions and you get where each other are coming from, you see the other side of the story, which is what you essentially came down to on the stage, why not just go to dinner? And it turns out that Kristen was waiting for Christine to leave the bathroom to be respectful, and Christine thought that she was standing out there to intimidate her the whole time. The miscommunication in this family is on the same level as a fucking sitcom. This is some sort of like Friends bullshit. Standing in the corner waiting for someone to leave because you're trying to give them their space and they're in there, shaking in their hot boots. Oh, I'm so scared. No, that is not even what was happening, Christine. It's upsetting, and it's kind of sad because they lost a moment for connection.
They did miss an opportunity to reconnect, and given that her aunt was talking to her like this, I didn't pick up on any villain behavior. Like, do you want to go get dinner with me? Like, she appeared to just be genuinely asking, you want to go grab a bite? Like, I don't know. It was
I really
weird.
think she was.
Going back to the couch, Kody says it was sad because they never came to any kind of agreement during these panels. And Janelle piggybacks on that by saying it was sad that we didn't even agree to disagree. So, I can appreciate that takeaway that we really didn't end anything well and we didn't even really agree to disagree.
The thing that I agreed with was that Kody said, it's sad because we never reached over the fence. We never figured out how to help our community.
Okay. Yeah.
So it could have come to something if they would have figured out a way to help people that were really struggling in polygamy and agreed that polygamy is going to happen whether you like it or not. So what can we do to help people in it that are in it in distress and needing help?
Right.
I agree with Kody there.
Yeah, they could have pivoted to a way to talk about the negative things that they're both talking about that happen in the culture. They both acknowledge it. The Browns are saying, that's not us, that's not us. And the anti-plagues are being like, it's a systematic, it's a underlying problem in the culture. And so why can't we address it? And they never got on the same page about what they even have shared opinions about.
They were all taking it too personally instead of looking at the broad picture.
The broad strokes with the brush were
Ooh.
distracting them
Yes.
from what their actual broad takeaway could have been, their shared experience.
Because Robyn says yet again, I got pretty angry the truth would not be heard here. What are you talking about? The truth is both sides. The truth is all the things.
Right. Like the anti-plague people were just lying? Like, no, Robyn, they weren't.
Christine and Willie are talking while everyone is getting up and leaving. And Christine is asking Willie if he's okay. And he says, yes, I'm okay. And they show everybody chatting afterwards that was on the panel, and it doesn't seem combative. I don't understand why they couldn't have gone out to dinner and just had a conversation about other things. Because if you connect on another level outside of polygamy versus non-polygamy, it would probably be easier to come back together and fight the good fight later.
Right. Yeah, if that was your goal.
They lost out.
But we get to hear more from Professor Creepo, so that's exciting. This is great. A part of the ending that I'm excited about. When he's talking about polygamous families and their success criteria. Oh, he has boiled it down to 3 bullet points that he thinks is the success criteria for polygamists. This is backed by fact, science, stats, and his bad dye job.
His observations of what helps a polygamist family succeed.
And of course, these things are mind-blowing and hard to understand. Not economically well off is the first bullet point. So, I guess that's pretty much universal. I don't know that that's necessarily polygamist specific, but yeah, it turns out if you're not struggling to make ends meet every day, you might have a little bit more success in your life.
You might be happier.
One that is polygamist specific is if the husband manages affection as to not demonstrate a favorite wife.
He says number 2, the husband worked very hard at trying to manage his affection. If he had a favorite wife, it was very quiet.
It was very quiet.
What the fuck? Number 3.
And most important,
the sister wives have become friends. And I've learned that from the Browns. In what study have you learned that? The study of the Browns' behavior over how many meetings? I want to know.
Right.
How many polygamous families have you studied? I want to know.
Well, I'd love to know the parameters of what friends are in a sister-wife relationship. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, these bitches are all saying they're friends. Okay.
These bitches are falsifying records.
Yes.
Left and right. He's seeing what he wants to see. This guy's weird. He's weird.
He is weird. And so for those of you that have seen the show, you know that he rears his ugly head and he returns on this show. And when he returns, I would say it's actually even worse than this.
Oh, God.
So you got that to look forward to.
Robyn thinks that more families just need to come forward. And they catch her from a side view. This monster-looking bitch from Transylvania. This bird-ass bitch thinks that just more families need to come forward and it'd be all right.
Robyn says, it was what it was. We need to get more people to share their stories. Kody volunteers, I melted down. So he melted down, apparently. I don't know what that means. I guess he feels like he didn't say enough. But Robyn looks at him lovingly. She looks over that nose, just like the drunk driver closing one eye to stay between the lines. She's staring at Kody. She says, I don't think you melted down. I think you stood up for your beliefs. I think your beliefs were under attack, and you stood up for your beliefs.
We always end on a dumbass Robyn quote or a dumbass Kody quote.
It's like, where do we go from here? It can only go up. And then it's like, never mind. Next episode is the same shit.
Next episode looks a little exciting. We are going to learn about Leon's school issues and their lack of tuition money.
Ooh.
And we are going to learn about Kody giving away his cheap-ass jewelry to the wives that he designed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say giving away his purity.
Giving away his ugly-ass jewelry. And seeing if the wives are disappointed.
Or jealous of each other's jewelry.
But
From
best...
Moreno Enterprises.
Ooh, Moreno Enterprises. But best of all, we're going to a marriage retreat.
Yes. Oh, God, with the therapist. I can't remember her name right now, but this is going to be good.
We're going to call her Godiva. Lady Godiva.
No, we're not going to call her that.
I can't wait to meet you, darling.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. A marriage retreat that really, really helps them strengthen their marital bonds. These 4 women and Kody. It's about as real as it sounds. Here we are again. Mustard seed and shit stain.
I think you should go first this time.
Oh, God. Okay. So my mustard seed this episode is going to go to Aspen because I need to give her a little point to help even up that shit stain you gave her, even though she did deserve it.
She totally deserved it.
She totally did deserve it. But she made up for it with this episode by supporting her mom and her other mom and her other mom and her other mom that aren't really moms by going to this panel, sitting front row, smiling, showing support, and hanging out with Logan. We didn't hear a lot from her this episode, but she did really encourage Christine at the beginning. You know, she was like trying to give her words of affirmation and saying, you've got this. There's nothing to be worried about. You're going to be great. And also then saying to the camera, I know my mom's fucking nervous and I've got to be there to support her. So at least she did support her family, whether they deserved it or not.
That's a good one. Because I would say my mustard seed is going to go to Christine's aunt, Kristen.
Oh, okay.
I think she obviously had an experience completely opposite of what was being portrayed. She stuck it out for 33 years, which is difficult. Whether you think that's good or bad, whether you think, you know, she broke away from that after that long, either way, she seems like a strong woman. She seems very intelligent. She was very articulate through everything. The only time that I thought she overstepped was saying that she wanted to kidnap Christine. And it was obviously an over-exaggeration of how she feels. It was bad wording given the circumstances and given the cult that they're in and the fact that people do kind of have to be kidnapped from it sometimes to escape.
Yeah.
Like children, I mean. But I think she was very articulate, and I give her props for getting out and then speaking out. So my mustard seed goes to Kristen.
My shit stain has me in the feels a bit because I'm giving my shit stain to Janelle.
Ooh.
I think there are several choices in this episode, but the reason that I'm going with Janelle is because I really, really don't like the lying. I really don't like the lying. And I also, it starts for me with the narrative that she's currently running with, I used to have to lie. I used to have to lie. I'm so glad I don't have to lie. You're still lying. She lied about being married to Meri's brother and made it sound as if...
So true.
She made it sound as if she was friends with Meri's family, her token polygamous friends. Oh my gosh. And then I just kind of felt like, oh, I just could, whatever. No, you're lying. It was a bold-faced lie. I do not like that.
You're right.
I also was not a fan of how Janelle talked about making her own money and having her own bank account and almost cackling in a condescending manner that the audience totally bought into and actually applauded for her because she has to know that her sister wives are not in that same position. So yes, she's speaking for herself, but she knows that she is unique in that situation, so that was fucked up.
She also says because of her religious beliefs, she's allowed to marry whoever she wants, whether they're married or not.
Yeah, which is whatever that is.
It doesn't even have to do with the actual religious beliefs about getting into heaven. They're glossing over the fact about why they need a plural marriage to begin with.
Mm-hmm. This is holdover also from recent episodes where she was talking about the lying and how she was over that and she doesn't have to lie anymore, but she's still lying, and I really don't like it. I just really do not like that. It might not be that dramatic, but this episode has made my brain turn into mush and crap. So a pile of crap. So Janelle, you get my shit stain.
My shit stain is going to go to Robyn yet again. As always, she seems to get one because she didn't listen. She did not listen. She was just waiting to answer. That's a huge problem with a lot of people. They're in a conversation, and instead of listening to the person they're speaking with, they're waiting till they can speak.
Mm-hmm.
I got that a lot from her with the "do not make me a victim, sweetie." We think of that as a very dramatic line where she's standing up for herself and there's somebody calling her out and saying something horrible leading up to it. Bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. She tried to say it earlier on. I heard the beginning of this line earlier on in the episode, and I thought she was going to say it, and then she didn't. And then she says it later, and I'm like, bitch, you've been waiting to say that. You have been waiting to say that. You're such a fucking liar, and you're full of shit, as per usual, trying to make yourself look like the victim, but not. Do not make me a victim, sweetie. You play the victim card more than anyone else in this family.
Oh, yeah.
So you're doing it to yourself. Shut the fuck up. The only reason that word is in your head is because you know you want to play it.
Yeah.
So how about you shut your dirty whore mouth, Robyn?
Shut your dirty whore mouth.
Siri net Siri.
Oh, speaking of Robyn getting your shit stain, we're going to do a little mini keep sweet before we do our big keep sweet.
Oh.
Our mini keep sweet is from a comment that just came in this week on our YouTube video from Robyn's purity speech episode, Robyn's secret. And Tanya Carter pointed out that Robyn should get a shit stain for turning her hoe phase into a Me Too story. That it's shameful. And it absolutely is shameful. And what a great connection. It's one of those comments where I'm like, I wish we would have thought of that, you know, because it's totally true. Like, your hoe phase is now a Me Too story. Mm-hmm. Terrible. Terrible, Robyn. You literally just had an entire episode about how you're a fake victim. Bullshit.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Bullshit, Robyn.
But a real keep sweet moment this week is a YouTube comment from Kody 2284. And Kody says, I just wanted to say that the first time I saw a video from you guys, the opening song made me cry because my papa would sing that to me when I was little. He passed away in 2003 and I hadn't heard that song since then. It was an instant subscribe in the first 5 seconds. Heart emoji. And I just thought that was, I don't even want to say sweet because we were making fun of the sweet thing, but I don't know. That just hit me in a certain spot, made me feel humanity, which is very unlike me. And I'm just so glad that Kody 2284, you shared that story on a YouTube comment.
Yeah, it warms my cockles.
Yeah, it makes me feel something close to where my heart is supposed to be.
Songs are so magical because they can take us back to a point in time that is very special and just transport us. And so can smell. And I thank God that I could not smell this college auditorium during this panel. That's all I have to say. It probably would bring me back to a place in time where I was in college and just praying to the Lord baby Jesus that I would survive college. So,
well, honey, maybe you would have enjoyed your college experience a little more if you had Professor Creepo there helping you out, guiding you with his analytics and his data.
Perhaps he could have convinced me to become a sister wife.